Hi, welcome back to my kitchen. I'm Larry, and this is Dad. What's for dinner? Today we're making sourdough buns. Pretty simple, straightforward process. They're just regular, like hamburger type buns made with the tang of sourdough. So let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. We have to start off with our sourdough starter. And one of these days I'm probably going to make a video about making a starter. Such a boring process, but it has such infinite uses. This really isn't so much about leavening as it is about flavor, because we're actually going to add just like regular yeast to this as well. That's 113 grams of starter. To that, we're going to add 177 grams of warm water, just barely room temperature. Give that a little stir. Get a little incorporated. And to that, we're going to add 420 grams of just regular AP flour. Get this hook out of the way for a second. And then we're also going to add in 6 grams of salt. And I apologize, the dogs are having fun in the background. They're just being crazy. We're going to add in a teaspoon of yeast, just regular store-bought yeast. We're going to add an egg. Of course, my dogs have been quiet all morning until I decide to start recording, but what are you going to do? Okay, so we're going to add the egg. And then we're going to add in 63 grams of honey. I'm not going to weigh this. I'm just going to give it a good squeeze here. That's about a tablespoon-ish. And then we're going to go ahead and start mixing this. And this is kind of like a brioche, but not really. It's a brioche in that it's going to have a lot of butter in it. And we're going to add that here in a second. Okay, so with the mixer running, I'm just going to go ahead and start adding my butter. Just going to put it in there like a tablespoon at a time. Let it get incorporated. And once it's incorporated, I'll add the next in. So that's all incorporated. What we're going to go ahead and do now is just let the mixer run for probably about another 5 minutes or so. It'd be a total of 10 minutes handling altogether. Little side note, when you're adding the butter, you want to make sure that it's not fresh out of the fridge. You want to use room temperature soft butter. So see you in a few minutes. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. I don't know how well you can see into the bowl here. Let me go ahead and stop this, and if you can kind of see the inside of the bowl, it's pretty much clear in the sides of the bowl. So we're going to go ahead and put this into a just lightly greased bowl. Let's go ahead and take this off the hook here. Now we're just going to put this in the bowl. And we're going to cover it and let it sit 4-ish hours. It'll, typical bread, double. If you feel a mind to and you think that you need to build some more gluten, you could do some stretch and folds, but it's not absolutely necessary. So we'll go ahead and let this set in a cool, not a cool place, but a draft-free place with a towel over it. Okay, so it's been about 2 hours, and as you can see, the dough has pretty much doubled in size. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of the pan. And I am going to go ahead and divide these into dough balls. And to figure out how many of these, this dough will make between 8 and 12. It just kind of depends on how big you want your buns. So what I usually do is I measure the dough, or weigh the dough rather, and divide it by how many buns I want. In this case, I think I want to try for, it's been a while since I've made this recipe, but I think I want to try for 10, which means I need to have 93 ounces per dough ball. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. All right, so that is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 dough balls. And we're just going to go ahead and form these into balls. And we're going to put them on a parchment lined sheet tray. And once you got all your dough balls set out, we're going to go ahead and cover this. I'm going to get some plastic film, some saran wrap, and just put some cooking spray on it. And let these proof for about, should be about another hour. Again, you want them to double. While we're waiting for the buns to rise, I'm going to go ahead and make my egg wash. Oops. Which is just an egg yolk with some water. So I'm going to go ahead and separate my egg. And we want the yolk. And then just a tablespoon of water. And just mix it together. And when it's time, we will brush that onto the top of our buns. Okay, it has been about a half hour. And as you can see, these have risen some. I'm going to go ahead and flatten these out just a little bit. And then I'm going to continue to let them proof. I have found when I do this, it makes them a little bit more hamburger bunish. So it makes them not quite so, otherwise they get very poofy, which is fine. I mean, they're still good. They get to be like really thick, and it's not necessarily desirable for like a hamburger or a bun sandwich type thing. So I'm going to go ahead and let these continue to proof, probably for about another half hour or so, and then we'll get them ready to bake off. Okay, so it has been about a half hour since I flattened these out, and as you can see, they've proofed up rather nicely. I'm going to go ahead and put on the egg wash. And again, this is just an egg yolk with a tablespoon of water. And we'll just brush that over all of the buns. And this will give them a nice color, and also will give something for the sesame seeds to stick to. The sesame seeds are not absolutely necessary, but you know, if you're making hamburger buns, you might want sesame seed buns. So, and yeah. And there's almost all of that. Okay, so that's all done. And then we have our sesame seeds. Sprinkle those on. All right, so we're set. We're going to go ahead and put these in the oven. It's been preheated to 375 degrees. We're going to cook these for about 20, not cook, bake these for about 20 to 25 minutes. Okay, so it has been 25 minutes. And these are done. All right, so we're going to go ahead and pull those out and put them on a cooling rack, let them cool off for about 20 minutes, and then they'll be ready to go. Okay, so here we are. They're all finished. We have 10 nice sourdough sesame seed hamburger buns. If you like this video, make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I enjoy reading your comments. Please leave comments. I love reading them. And that's all I have for this time. So take care, God bless, and we'll see you on the next one.